Stephanie sat at the edge of her bed, staring blankly at the wall. The silence of the house was only broken by the ticking of the clock. It had been 5 long years since she and her husband Michael began trying for a child. First year was filled with hope and excitement, but as the years went by, hope turned into despair. Stephanie dreaded family gatherings and social functions. Every event seemed to be filled with the same painful questions. When are you giving us a baby? Each time she heard those words, it felt like a dagger to her heart. She began to avoid these gatherings, preferring the solitude of her home. At night, when Michael was asleep, Stephanie would cry herself to sleep. They had tried several rounds of IVF, but each attempt ended in heartbreak. The doctors had said there was nothing more they could do. The emotional and financial toll was immense, and Stephanie felt like she was losing hope. Michael, on the other hand, remained steadfast in his faith. He encouraged Stephanie to pray and trust God. He would often say, "Stephanie, God's timing is perfect. We must continue to trust Him." He was the one who held her when she cried, prayed with her and for her, and who never let her lose faith completely. One afternoon, Stephanie began to feel unwell. She dismissed it as malaria. Michael noticed her discomfort and suggested she get some malaria drugs. "Don't overthink about our childlessness, my love. Everything will happen in God's time," he said gently. Stephanie reluctantly agreed. She went to the pharmacy, bought the medication, and returned home. She wanted to take the drugs immediately, but a small voice in her mind stopped her. She felt an inexplicable urge to check if she might be pregnant, even though she had never tested positive before. In the bathroom, she found an old pregnancy test kit she had forgotten about. With trembling hands, she took the test. As she waited for the results, her heart pounded in her chest. When she finally looked at the test, she couldn't believe her eyes. It was positive. She was pregnant. Stephanie broke down in tears, overwhelmed with a mixture of joy and disbelief. She called Michael immediately, unable to contain her emotions. "Michael, it's positive. I'm pregnant," she sobbed. Michael rushed home from work, tears streaming down his face as he embraced his wife. "God is faithful, Stephanie. He has answered our prayers," he said, voice choked with emotion. The next few months were a whirlwind of emotion. Stephanie and Michael decided to keep the news to themselves, only sharing it with close friends and family. They wanted to cherish this miracle privately, away from the prying eyes and endless questions. Stephanie's pregnancy was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt and fear, but Michael remained her rock. He prayed fervently, his faith unwavering. Stephanie found strength in his prayers, and gradually, her own faith began to grow. As the months passed, their excitement grew. Regular checkups showed that the pregnancy was progressing well. At one of the ultrasounds, the doctor gave them astonishing news. "You're having triplets," he announced with a smile. Stephanie and Michael were speechless. The news was both thrilling and overwhelming. They had prayed for a child, and God had blessed them with 3. It was a true testament to God's power and faithfulness. The day finally arrived. After a long and challenging labor, Stephanie gave birth to 3 healthy babies, 2 boys and a girl. The delivery room was filled with tears of joy and prayers of thanksgiving. Stephanie and Michael named their children Miracle, Faith, and Joy, each name reflecting the journey they had been on and the blessings they had received. When they brought the babies home, their house was filled with laughter and the sounds of tiny cries. Friends and family came to visit, celebrating the miracle that had taken place. The once silent house was now alive with the presence of their long-awaited children. Michael continued to be a pillar of support for Stephanie. He took time off work to help with the babies, changing diapers, feeding, and comforting them. He was deeply involved in every aspect of their care, ensuring that Stephanie had time to rest and recover. As the weeks turned into months, Stephanie reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. She realized that her faith had been tested, but through it all, she had learned to trust in God's timing and plan. Michael's unwavering faith and support had been a constant source of strength for her. One evening, as they sat together with their sleeping babies, Stephanie turned to Michael. "Thank you for never giving up on me, Michael. Your faith and love kept me going even when I had none left." Michael smiled and took her hand. We are a team, Stephanie. We prayed, we waited, and God has blessed us beyond measure. Our journey has only just begun, and I know that with God's grace, we will continue to overcome any challenges that come our way. Stephanie and Michael's story spread throughout their community, inspiring many who were facing similar struggles. Their journey from barrenness to motherhood was a testament to the power of faith, love, and perseverance. They became a source of encouragement for others, sharing their story and reminding everyone God's timing is always perfect. As they watched their children grow, Stephanie and Michael were filled with gratitude. Their hearts overflowed with love for miracle, faith, and joy. The pain of the past had been replaced with the joy of the present, and they knew that their family was a living testimony of God's double blessing. Stephanie continued to attend family gatherings and social functions, but this time she did so with her head held high and a heart full of joy. The questions that once brought her pain were now replaced with congratulations and admiration for her strength and faith. Michael remained the prayerful man he had always been, leading their family in prayers and thanksgiving. He was a loving husband and father, dedicated to ensuring that his family was always grounded in faith and love. In the end, Stephanie and Michael's story was not just about the miracle of their children, but also about the power of unwavering faith and the strength of a loving partnership. They had faced the darkest moments together and had come out stronger, their love and faith shining brighter than ever. Their journey was a reminder that no matter how long the wait, no matter how difficult the journey, God's blessings are always worth it. And sometimes when we least expect it, He gives us double for our trouble.